is on the air. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolute phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. The Bengals at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Burrow going to get this out to Chase. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second in a couple. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. They'll go again with Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. On second down, it's Walker. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Here we go.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. He'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here we go, here we go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals, all have those types of thoughts. Then they have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Jackson now. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Tucker's kick is good. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. It's a room to maneuver. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Whoa.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Burrow will throw. Try to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Play action. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half, they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Harris running straight ahead. And some room to work. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Now it's Jackson.
Targets Parker, and he's got him on the crossing route.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down.
He finds Bateman over the middle. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Harris will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer, because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on, because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here we go. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
11.
sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
57 yards rushing for him now to this point.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
11 MT, 11 shot.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Jackson.
He's got his man downfield. That's Bateman.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on them.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again.
Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And two of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making. Both on display right there. And it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. And the slot man goes in motion left. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They hand this off to Harris, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. To throw is Jackson.
A slant route caught by Bateman.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
On the give, this is Harris. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
They go play action with Jackson.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
11.
Dobbins trying the left side.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Running right, here's Walker. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. A good that gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Here we go. Here we go.
And going right back to Walker.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon, and that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Now it's Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a...
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-1.
And they'll be on the road next week.